So,
I'm hearing an echo, and I don't know why. So
okay.
let me try. I don't have a plug-in for my phone, so I can do earphones that way. But I have a set of headless earphones. Do you think that would help?
You could try.
Okay, I'm going to give it a try.
Because I've got no echo this end.
Yeah.
But the problem is, sometimes I can hear it when I'm editing, which is a bit annoying. I'm like, oh damn. I wish we could, sort it out, find out what we're doing.
Right. I don't hear it all the time, but I'm getting a hint of it. So let's see. They're old school wireless phones here. Let's see if
How's that?
Oh, I hear you. Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. I should have done this from the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'm not hearing it well. I don't hear an echo now, but I hear you much better.
Oh, well, that's good. Let's go with that, shall we? Shall we try and go with that?
Sure.
So I'm going to turn you down a bit. It's all trial and error.
Yep.
And let's face it, we're boomers, so it's going to take us twice as long as everybody else. Well, it's all trial and error, as I said. So, what was I going to say? I think you were saying when you said yesterday, or when you said earlier today. Well, I've forgotten what we're talking about because we're both boomers, and I was like, well, yes. I thought a good thing to talk about. Well, no, you suggested it. I can't take it. But you suggested friendships. So I think let's just have a general chit chat about friendships.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome to Rockin Elders podcast. My name is Jan.
And my name is Dee.
And we're here, two boomers, just to sit and waffle for a few minutes. Well, normally 45 minutes, something like that. We're just going to waffle because that's what we do because we're boomers.
I'm hungry now.
You're hungry?
Waffles.
Oh my God. When I go on holiday with my kids, there's a place we go to and they have a waffle house. Oh,
aren't they wonderful?
Can't you go mad in a waffle house?
I know it. I love them. Love Waffle House. I always get breakfast too. I do. When I go out with the kids or something, I always get breakfast. I don't know why. Pancakes.
What, from a Waffle House?
Well, no, from any place. If I go meet my girlfriends for lunch or something, I inevitably get either an egg dish or pancakes or something. It's the strangest thing. It's like a treat. If I'm going out, I want breakfast. I'm weird.
It's funny because ordinarily I don't eat breakfast, but when I'm on holiday or vacation, as you say in America, I always have like a full English breakfast. Do you know what a full English breakfast is?
That is with coffee, and is there a protein involved, like bacon or something?
Oh,
don't tell me it's beans on toast.
Right. A full English would be eggs, either scrambled or fried or poached. It would be bacon. It would be toast.
Yeah.
It would be baked beans.
Baked
It
beans.
would be sausage. And it would be mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
And it would also be black pudding. Now, I don't know if you have black pudding
Well,
over there.
I don't. We probably do, but I don't know what it is, and I've never had it. What is it?
I
What's
think
black
it's made of pig's blood. Which
I don't.
sounds absolutely disgusting.
I don't want that. No. No,
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually quite tasty. And they sort of roll it into a sausage.
Yeah.
And then they slice it. So you get like, just a little slice, and it's black.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
And it's just fried. They just fry either side.
They fry it.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll tell you a story. I was in a fish and chip shop one day years ago, and this guy walked in and asked for black pudding, and the people in there offered him or gave him this sausage that was all black pudding. He took it by his hand and shoved it straight in his mouth, and I tell you what, it just made me feel so ill.
Oh, no.
It made me feel, it turned my stomach, Dee.
Yeah. No, I don't even want to see anybody doing that. Oh, no.
No,
No,
it did.
No.
But you haven't
very
even cooked it.
no raw meat in any no. Not on anything I'm going to eat anyway.
Yeah. So you now know what a English full breakfast is. I don't think I've missed anything else. Oh, sometimes we might have, instead of toast, you can have fried bread.
What's
Do you know what fried bread is?
No.
Fried bread is you fry bread.
Is it dipped in egg or anything?
No, that would be eggy bread.
Okay, so we call that French toast.
Okay, we call it eggy bread.
Eggy bread.
Fried bread is you've got a frying pan and you put some oil in it. Yeah, heat up the oil. Throw in well, if you're hussy, you throw in the bread, right? And wait until it browns, or if you're hussy, goes black, and then you flick it over and fry it on the other side. That is fried bread.
Do you put anything on it once it's fried, like jelly or something? No, just
jelly?
Plain bread.
What, jam, you mean?
Yeah.
No, darling, you're not gonna have jam with your full English breakfast. No, it's savoury.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. It is savory. It's not sweet. Okay. You're not having French toast and whipped cream and bananas and all that. So you're not having a lot of sweet. It's a savory full English breakfast. Got it.
Yeah. Wow. So when you come over to England, I'm going to find somewhere, most places, even high-end, excuse me, I'm going to cough. Even high-end restaurants would do a full English. I mean, I've stayed at 5-star hotels and you can get full English.
Okay.
So when you come over, we will go and partake.
Hopefully next year.
Oh, I hope so, dear.
Yes, I've got to get back over there. I love it so much. I do.
Although
I love that.
Although, I'm doing my DNA. I have got 500 cousins.
500? What, relatives?
Yeah, I have got
Jesus.
500 relatives in the States. And they're doing a, what do they call it when you all get together?
Reunion.
A reunion. Okay. They're doing a reunion, I think, this August. I don't think I'm going to be going this August, but
where's
maybe
everyone meeting? Where are they meeting?
I think Fort Lauderdale, which I'm not really sure where that is.
Oh, but you should go.
But I've also got, I think, 200,
Mhm.
which is a bit frightening, 200 relatives in New York. If one of them comes back with the
Yeah.
surname Chuchakian,
Mhm.
I am never, ever, ever going
No.
over to New York.
No, I don't blame you. You know, actually, though, I do love. I understand the reason for that, and I would do the same. But I actually love New York City for a few days. That's
Yeah.
it. I could never live there, but for a few days, there's so much to see and do.
Have
I
you
mean,
ever
it's
lived
not
in
a.
a city?
I've never lived in a big city. No,
Oh, I
I've.
have, you see.
Yeah, I haven't. No, I'm.
So I
I'm a
could,
small town girl.
yeah. I've always lived in or around London, and
Hmm.
now I still live, just outside London. I can be
Yeah.
in London in 20 minutes, 25 minutes on the train.
Wow.
Um, in the car, depends who's driving.
Hmm. I'm totally jealous that you're
Yeah.
that close to London.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take me very long at all. I mean, people work in London from where I
Hmm.
am.
Okay.
Oh, that's my timer. Don't laugh, but I set a timer for when we were meant to be doing this.
You beat the timer. Boy, that's good. Buy a lottery ticket. That's good. You
Because
started
my
before.
timing is so bad. I'm
Same.
terrible.
Same.
Do you know what? Yesterday, no, what day was it? Sunday. And this is going to sound really boomerish, but Sunday, I didn't realize it was Sunday. And it was really funny. I sat down at my computer to do something, and I looked up. It tells me the day and the date. And I
Yeah.
looked up and it said Sunday. And I went, what?
Uh-huh.
It's Sunday today?
You lost some time. Yeah, it
I,
happens.
I just got so much going on at the moment, as I know
Yes.
you have as well.
Yes, I do. Life is
But I
good, though.
love doing our podcast, and
Me
I can't wait
too.
to get back to Sweet Talk. We're on a hiatus, which is
Yeah.
going on a little bit longer than I would have liked, but
Right.
that's down to technical reasons.
Yeah.
Carsten's laptop died,
Yeah.
and he's refusing to do Sweet Talk on his phone.
Well, we can do this. I'm doing this on my phone. I
I
hope to get my computer up
know.
and running. I mean, but he could do it from his phone. Yeah,
I'm
he
going to have
could.
to tell him. So
Yeah.
come on, Carsten, sort yourself
Mhm.
out, darling. We need to do Sweet Talk. Come on, I like the Sweet
I know. I
Talk.
miss seeing you guys together. You're so much fun.
Yeah, well, it's
So
not my
much fun.
fault. One of these days,
Yeah.
I'm going to film our Insta chats
Uh-huh.
because they are hilarious.
Jan, they're so funny.
Hilarious.
People would not believe the nonsense that goes on Instagram. The
I know.
laughing.
Oh, the
It's
other
great.
day, the other day we had the weirdest conversation, and I think what's so worrying is that it was normal for us.
That's the best kind.
We were talking about, I can't remember how we got onto it, but God came up, God. So
Okay.
I was saying, Carlson was saying, I think we must have been talking about somebody with long hair.
Mhm.
And Carlson said something about God. And I said, oh, God. I said, I really do like a man with long hair. And Carlson was like, yeah, so do I. And then I was like, I can't believe I've just said that I like men with long hair, and we're talking about God, Jesus, whoever you want to call. Honestly, we laughed for so long. It really is such a shame that we can't just film like that and put that up online without people coming for us.
Well,
You know,
people are
it,
always going to come for us. We've got haters. You do, I do, Karsten does,
yeah.
and it changes with the wind. So I'm coming to terms with that. That no matter what you do, there's going to be people for whatever reason that dislike us. Okay.
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, what actually, and it does make me laugh. sometimes I'll take a screenshot of me and
Mhm.
Carsten because we just look so ridiculous. Like we'll play around with the with the filters,
Yeah, with the
and
filters.
yeah, and we just look like a pair of idiots. And then I'll take a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
One day I put a picture on Twitter of one of those. I don't care what I look like. Listen, if I'm doing sweet talk, then I like to be, scrubbed up a bit. But
Yeah.
if I'm talking to my friends like Carsten or you,
Yeah.
we don't care what we look like,
No.
you
No.
know? But I put this picture up, and I don't even need to say which group of people it was, but
Yeah.
it's one person specifically who
Mhm.
shuffles along in New
Mhm.
York,
Mhm.
shouting abuse at everybody. That person.
Yeah.
He then put that picture up of me, which
Mhm.
wasn't very flattering. Of course, it
Right.
wasn't. I was just messing around.
Mhm.
And then all the minions started attacking me about, say, oh, how can she talk about people's looks when she looks like that? And I was
Oh.
like, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. The same thing happened to me where that person took a personal photograph. That was
Exactly.
very, it was very, I think I was showing off a hat or something, but
Yeah,
it certainly wasn't for public view. And then, edited it and changed it to make me look like a fool,
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, no.
Yeah, I think it's such a shame. And I mean, this is what we wanted to talk about. We wanted to talk about friendships.
Yes.
And we don't necessarily want to dedicate the whole of this podcast to talking about
No.
that twat.
Mm-mm.
But I think it sort of falls into that topic of when when you feel betrayed by a friend, whether it be
Yes.
online or offline,
Right.
it's really, really hurtful.
It is. It
And
is.
I
It's.
think what makes it worse, especially when it's online, is
Mhm.
when it goes on and on and on and on,
It
which
doesn't.
is what's happened to you.
Yes, it becomes that you're the subject, or me, you, anybody can become the subject of fun, and they put you under a spotlight so that all the people are looking at you either at your worst. They're certainly not going to take a beautiful picture of you, and if they
No.
did see one, they'd say, "Oh, that's filtered. Oh, that's from 30 years ago. Oh, who
Yeah.
cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? Friends don't hurt people like that.
No.
Whether they're I don't take internet friendships very seriously anymore, unfortunately.
Mm.
I mean, you and I met through Twitter and YouTube and things like that. We've become very dear friends, Karsten
Mhm.
as well. But there's very few people now that I would trust with any kind of personal information about me. That's
Yeah.
just how it is. I'm so afraid that they will get mad at me for a made up reason or what they think I'm doing or not doing or something, and then just torture me with any information I have.
Yeah.
It's sad. Sad.
It's sad, and it's also very evil. And I
Yes.
think as soon as you see that, you have
Hmm.
to move away from it. You have to
Yeah.
see it for what it is and
Yeah.
imagine that it's actually in real life. And if you had a friend like that,
Hmm.
what you would do with that friend. And
Yeah.
I would say I would walk away.
Yeah.
I've walked away from real life friends,
Hmm.
30-year live friends,
Wow.
um, because I found that they were talking behind my back
That
to other
hurts.
friends.
That
And
hurts.
for me, trust is one of the most important things in friendship. Um, and I let it go once.
Hmm.
And that because I valued the friendship, and I thought,
Right.
no, I'm gonna sort of let that go, even though
Yeah.
it did hurt me. But then when it happened a second time, it was like, no.
Yeah.
And I cut her out. And
That's.
I don't regret cutting her out. There are times when I think, oh, maybe I should. And then I think, no, because if you haven't got trust in a friendship,
Yeah.
what have you got? It makes it a very superficial friendship. And
Well,
I
this is.
don't do superficial friendships.
I think that's what Twitter and YouTube are. I think
Yeah.
those are all superficial friendships that you see the same people in chat, so you become, familiar with them, but
Mm,
it doesn't go deeper than that
mm,
because it doesn't have to anymore. And I wonder, now that we're talking about it, I wonder if it's our age that we took it all too seriously. And the younger generations, they're like, it's the internet. Who cares? It's just words. It's whatever. No, to me, if I trust you enough to give you information about myself to try and make a deeper friendship or to understand
mm,
who I am, when they take that information and they turn it completely around
mm,
and be evil with that
mm.
information, I mean, I guess we took it too seriously, and I shouldn't have. I've learned from it, but I wonder if younger people just take it much more casually than we do. They're like, yeah, so what? I know 5,000 people on Twitter and YouTube. Big deal. They don't mean anything. Okay.
I
I
think
don't do that. I don't
I
do
was
that.
going to say maybe it is a generational thing, but I think the thing is, the reality is these friends that we felt, specifically you,
Mm-hmm.
as regards this one nasty individual,
Yeah.
they're not young.
No,
They're middle-aged people.
they sure are.
So in that aspect, although I believe to a certain degree, you could say that it was generational
Mm-hmm.
because of what has happened to you and
Mm-hmm.
also what's happened to me as regards friendships online.
Yeah.
These people are older. So I think these
Yeah.
people would be like that away from the online situations.
I
I
agree.
think they're just very superficial people.
Yes. Yes. I think
Um,
there's definitely people online, Twitter, YouTube, whatever social media. They want friends or friendships to see if they can either get the numbers up. It's just a matter
yeah,
of like, oh, I have this many viewers or I have this many subscribers. So they'll be
yeah,
nice up until then. But in real
mm,
life, I think they're exactly the same. What can I get from this person I'm friendly with? Whether it's attention, not money, attention, they admire them or something. They're getting something emotionally from that person. And when they're no longer useful, out they go.
yeah.
Out
I
they
think
go.
you've hit the nail on the head. I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and it's sad because when you meet people online and you get chatting, it's
Mm-hmm.
like with it, if you meet people in a social setting in
Yeah.
real life,
Mm-hmm.
when you're talking to them, okay, you may not give them too much information about yourself, but
Right.
you may drop a few things. Oh, yeah,
Uh
I'm
huh.
interested in this. And,
Right.
and I used to do this back in the day and I
Mm-hmm.
did that. And, so what have you done? And then you sort of just pass information between
Yeah.
people,
It's getting
in a
to
public,
someone on a
in
deeper
a social
level.
setting.
You want to make friendships go really people that you really like. You want it to go deeper
Yes.
on a personal level so that you can know each other better. And
Yeah.
I think in my case, I let go of personal information about me and my family, thinking that this person was worthy of it,
Yes.
and they weren't. It was
No.
very superficial to them.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that was my fault because I was too naive to know that these relationships don't feel like you want to know them deeper. So you give everything and they give nothing.
Yeah.
Hard
See, I,
lesson.
I couldn't. I mean, I so understand what you're saying there, and it was a very hard lesson for you to learn.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
It
I mean,
absolutely.
I've had other friendships online that
Mm-hmm,
I've fallen out with those people now,
mm-hmm,
and they know a great deal about me.
yeah.
I know a great deal about them,
Mm-hmm.
but I would never use any information they gave me against them
No, I
because
wouldn't
I'm not
either.
that kind of person.
Exactly.
You
I'm the
know,
same.
it's the type of person. I mean,
Yeah.
there's one person in particular I can think of that I'm not giving any clues to.
Mm-hmm,
Um, that I was so close to
mm-hmm,
that person,
mm-hmm.
and then something happened, a complete misunderstanding. I think maybe I have to accept maybe I was in the wrong. with
Mhm.
something. He has to accept that maybe he was in the wrong with something. But we haven't done that. So I've
Right.
just had to step back, leave it,
Yeah.
and I've reached out to him. He's ignored it. And I'm like, okay, I can live with that now. I've done everything that I needed to do or
Right.
felt that I needed to do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it now.
Right.
What do they say when you put an end to something?
Uh,
Put the lid down on it.
yes.
I can't think of
Yeah.
what you say. Got closure. That's right. And I think that's something that is important in any relationship with
Yes.
somebody, whether it's on a friendship level or whether it's
Mhm.
on a romantic level. Everybody needs closure. And I
You
think
do. If
a
you're
lot of
not,
people don't realize that.
yeah, if you're not in a friendship or a personal romantic relationship with someone, there's no sense dragging it on. It
No,
just all it is torment. It's
exactly.
emotional torment because that's all you're thinking about is like I didn't finish what I was going to say, or
Yeah,
even if it's to tell them no matter what, we're not going to be friends or lovers or whatever anymore. I love you, and we had a nice time, and for whatever reason it's ending, but then end it.
yeah.
Then end it and don't keep it dragging in the background all the time.
No. Well,
And
what
people, I
if?
hate letting go of friends. I hate it. I
Mm,
do, but things happen. People change. People don't have the same interests anymore. Relationships, especially friendships, need work. Now,
oh,
I've been
absolutely.
I've been told that by a friend. She's like,
Mm,
it's a two-way street,
yeah,
and I don't work as hard as I should on some friendships, and I am self-aware enough to know that I have to work harder. And I mean, it's not work, it's just like keeping in touch and telling
yeah.
your friends, you love them and you want to do things together, things like that.
I have two best friends. One
Hmm.
of them, I think we've been friends for, oh, getting on 40 years.
Yeah.
And I love her to
Wonderful.
pieces. We
Yep.
know each other inside and out,
Yeah.
but we don't live in the same area. We're not that far away, but our lives are sort of busy.
Yes.
And we don't talk as often as we should.
Right.
But when we do,
Hmm.
or when we meet, it's almost like someone's someone's giving me an injection of happiness,
Isn't that wonderful?
and someone's just feeding my soul a
Yeah.
little bit. And I know she feels exactly the same. We
Yes.
hug, we kiss, not in a romantic way, on the
Right.
cheeks.
Right.
And we just love being together. She's like my sister.
It's
And
glorious.
yeah, but we
It
don't
is.
talk. And sometimes the kids will say to me, "Oh, Mum, have you spoken to so and so?" I'm
Hmm.
like, "Oh God, no! I need to speak to her. I must." Da, da, da. But I love her. She like a sister.
Yeah.
Um, and I've also got another friend like that.
Hmm.
We haven't been friends for as long. I think we've been friends for about 20 years, and she's exactly the same. So
I
real
love that.
friendship is so important, you
It
know,
is.
and you don't have to. I want to move on to this a little bit because I think it's quite prevalent. It's quite relevant to what's
Hmm.
happening, especially online at the moment. But my two best friends are very different people.
Hmm.
One of them is Italian. Her
Hmm.
parents are Italian, or they were Italian. God bless them. Um, and she leads a completely different life to my life.
Hmm.
My other best friend is Pakistani, and she's very, I don't know whether I can call her devout Muslim, because I
Hmm.
don't know what a devout Muslim is.
Yeah.
She prays every day. I think it's her husband that goes to mosque
Hmm.
very regularly. She's very Muslim, if that's
Yeah.
such a thing. Um, so we're very, very different. But the difference is, if you've got that love for somebody,
That's right.
it doesn't matter what
That's
religion
right.
they are, what color they are, what they believe in. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if you've got, well, I think if you believe in something totally opposite, that may be an issue.
Right.
But yeah, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care which God you pray to, although
Right.
faith for me is important. Um,
Yes.
my other friend isn't religious.
Mm-hmm.
She had a Catholic upbringing. She's not religious at all.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, have you got friends that are very different to you?
I have also two friends I've known almost since first grade. So
Hmm.
I've known them a very long time. And uh, we all became friends all those years ago as, little people for a reason.
Mm,
People touch a certain part of our brain and you enjoy their company. That's
yeah.
what's kept us together all these years. We're all so different, all of
Mm,
us. I'm
mm,
I'm probably the most eccentric, but
mm,
we're all different. But we still, like you said, we don't have to see each other that often. But when we do, we go right back to our 16 years old. And it's
that's
so
it.
much fun. And I never laugh harder than I do with those two.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I think it's like, a true friendship is a meeting of the soul. I think
Yes.
it's more than just, having to agree with them all the time. I mean,
Yep.
I'm just trying to think. I have to say, in the 40 years I've
Hmm.
had my best friend, we've never argued.
Yeah.
There's been situations, because bear in mind, we brought up 4 kids each
Right.
together.
Hmm.
Okay, now, I mean, she lived in her house, in her house, and I lived in
Right.
mine, but
Right.
we were very much a part of each other's lives and of our
Hmm.
kids' lives. And there were instances, maybe if my child did something to her child, where you'd be like, "Oi, don't do that." Um, but we always had respect for each other, and we never ever fell out over kids. I remember someone saying that to me actually when my kids were small. I remember hearing someone say, "Never fall out with a friend over the children." Have you
Makes
heard
sense.
that?
Yeah, I haven't heard that, but I also, with one of my friends, we did live in the same town. So we saw it when our kids were little, they were about the same age. And we saw each other every day. We'd call up
Yeah.
each other, like, what are you making for dinner tonight? Should we take the
Mm,
kids to the beach tomorrow? I mean, it was very close friendship. The other friend had moved out of state, so we didn't see her probably more than once a year. But we never fell out over children
no.
because kids, you can be the best parent in the world, and kids are going to throw a rock or they're going to hit another kid or bite them or something. You can't get
Mm,
angry I mean, you can get angry about it, but it doesn't affect the friendship. No, that's
no.
that's never happened to me.
No. And I
Where?
think, you can take that to online friendships as well to a certain degree.
Hmm.
I mean, I think if you had completely varying views on things,
Hmm.
I mean, I count you as a true friend online, as I do Carsten. Um,
Same.
and we don't always agree on things,
Right.
but I think when you get to know the person,
Hmm.
you can just sit back and listen to their view and
Yeah.
say, well, yeah, okay, don't really agree with that, but
But that's
let's just,
fine.
yeah, it's
But
fine.
you can, especially, I mean, we're both online. You've
Uh-huh.
got a few channels. You're on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Karsten's on Twitter. So we're all on social media of one kind or another, and we see little different communities. And if for some reason you make a comment on a post somebody makes, and to people that are listening, this is the most boring stuff ever. This is stuff you do when you're making coffee and you're checking your Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you make a comment on somebody's post that maybe other people know and they don't like that person, they automatically assume you think the way they do because you
Yes.
made a comment.
Yes.
It makes no sense to me. I don't get that. I don't. I still don't to this day. I'm like, I'm just liking a comment because I thought it was funny or cute or stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I
It's
don't
it's
know
just
their
a
past.
it's just a
Stupid.
ridiculous situation to be in. I
It
mean,
is.
I feel the same. You know, and I think we know which community we're talking about,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
the way they magnify. Oh, that's my
Oh,
daughter ringing now. For God's sake. Hang on a minute. I'll just
okay.
take that. Yeah, talk amongst yourself, Dee.
All right.
Hello?
Okay. What am I making for dinner?
Darling, I'm just doing a podcast. Can I phone you back?
Reservations, maybe.
I'll phone you back in about 20 minutes. Dee's talking to herself. Oh,
Beautiful
all
day.
right. Well, definitely phone me, okay? Love you. Bye.
Well, you said talk among yourselves, so I was talking to myself.
I had to answer that because she phoned me earlier and I was like, oh, that's it. I pressed the wrong button, so I cut her off. And so then I texted her, but I waited for her to then re-phone me, which she
Oh,
didn't
okay.
do. So I thought, oh
Right.
God, and she got the hump with me. So then I texted her. I said, well, I don't know what happened there. She said, Mother, you cut me off. So I said, oh, all right then. So when she phoned then, I thought, oh my God, I better answer it.
Talk to the daughter.
Well,
Yeah.
at least she doesn't know I was lying because she'll be able to hear this. By the
Right.
way, she's
Mhm.
listened to our podcast day and she likes it.
She does. Well,
Yes.
that's a check in the pro column.
It
I like
is.
that.
She
I
said, I
like that.
really love your podcast. She said,
Oh,
Dee
good.
sounds wonderful. I said, she
Oh,
is.
thank
And she
you.
said, yeah, I really like it, Mum. So I said, good.
Oh,
That
good.
makes me feel happy.
Couple of
Anyway,
boomers
where were
goofing
we until
off.
we were rudely interrupted?
Um, communities on social media, friendships, and pulling apart every little, magnifying everything that could have been just yes or no. They've made it into 50 shades of stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll always remember, I think it was Jermaine Jackson, you know,
Mhm.
Michael's brother,
Yeah.
when he was on Celebrity Big Brother. And he said, you know, very profoundly, you can't argue with stupid. And that stuck in my head. And I thought, do you know what? You're absolutely right. And that's what it is with these people. Because if you do respond to them,
Yeah.
you know, with a, doesn't have to be an intelligent answer, can just be an
Right.
ordinary answer,
Mhm.
they will then still be in the stupid lane. So it doesn't matter what you say, they're still going along in that stupid lane.
Yeah. And
Do you know what
I
I
know
mean?
people are trying to, I know in my case anyway, everybody knows how old I am. I'm not ashamed of being,
Doesn't
my
matter.
age. And, but now the latest thing is, they're going to shame older people by calling them old. Oh, calling you grandma, or, you're almost at the nursing home. Or,
Oh, really?
making fun, using age as,
A
an
negative.
insult. Yeah,
Yeah.
an insult. That's what they're doing. Now, obviously, these are middle-aged or late 30s, early
Yeah.
40s people.
They're well
Not
on the
that,
way.
yeah, not that big a divide. You should be so lucky to reach my age, okay? Because a lot of
Ah,
people don't. But they don't see, they
exactly.
see old as that. This could be another topic, ageism or something, which it doesn't get under my skin as much as they think it does.
No.
But because I'm not embarrassed to be old or to be a senior boomer, whatever.
Yeah. We're quite happy
But
booming along, aren't we? We
yeah,
boom along
I
like.
mean, yeah, I don't, the days are gone where I have to get up early to go to work. I don't have to worry about bills. I don't have to worry about are the kids going to get off to school. I don't have to worry about, the day-to-day struggle, which not a bad struggle, but in your early life, you're working. Your focus
Yeah.
is getting money,
Yeah.
being successful, having a family, all these things. I don't worry about that anymore. Now I worry about my son.
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't have to
God.
worry about myself anymore. But
Well,
you know,
I don't know what got into me having 4 kids, because my life, it just like, it does revolve around my children, because
uh-huh.
they're very part that I'm
Right.
very lucky. I'm not estranged from any of my children.
That's
I
great.
see them a
Hmm.
lot. I
Hmm.
mean, the thing that we tend to do, I don't know whether you know, uh, on my Twitter, I post a lot of restaurants. That's what we
Yes.
do in my family. We meet up. Like yesterday, I was heading into a town, and I phoned up my youngest daughter and I said, right, I'm on my way to such and such, do you want to meet up for coffee? So she's like, yeah, all right then. So we met up, we had a
I'm so
coffee, we had
jealous.
a good old chinwag, we went shopping, and then as we were leaving the shop, my
Hmm.
eldest son phoned and said, Mum, what you doing? I'm in the car with my girlfriend, and we're thinking, shall we go for a meal? Shall we drive over? And because he still
Right.
lives in London, shall
Hmm.
we drive over? So I said, yeah, yeah. So I said, oh, well, I'm with Jet. Oh, nearly said my daughter's name. I said, well, I'm with my daughter. I'm
Hmm.
with your sister. And we've just got a load of food, because my youngest boy's got COVID, the one that's just moved out. So him and the
Yeah.
girlfriend have got COVID. So me and my daughter were
Hmm.
buying him bits and pieces,
Okay. That's
to
right.
take over and leave at the door.
Hmm.
And so I was telling that to my eldest boy, and he said, oh, well, that's all right. It's going to take us maybe an hour to get over to you. So I said, all right then. So then we went out for an Indian meal, and it was lovely. All of us, me, my
Oh,
daughter, my
wonderful.
son, and my son's girlfriend. They were celebrating an anniversary, and we had a lovely evening.
That
And
is what being a boomer is all about. You
it
see, you
is.
have to, it's not you sitting at home in a corner whining about being old and, there's nothing to do. And no, you're enjoying your
No.
life and you're close with your children and you can all live and be happy together and have things to do and places to go
And we
and be happy.
do.
Yeah.
With having 4 of them,
Yeah.
there's always one of them that
Right.
has to put up with me that day.
Yep. Oh, I'm so jealous. I am. I'm
There's
so
always one of
jealous.
them.
Yeah.
And, I shop with my girls. They don't live that far from me,
Right.
either of them. So yeah, I have a life full of family. And if I don't see my family, I
Hmm.
can be creative, I can paint, I can do this, I
Yes.
can chat with my online friends. And,
Right.
my life isn't a sad life. And I
Right.
I know it's the same with you. I know you
Yes.
go out and about. I know
I.
you're going to a party on the beach this afternoon.
It's right.
And I'm looking for my invitation.
Got to go to Fort Lauderdale and then come up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, I mean, Fort Lauderdale is by the beach, isn't it? So
Yeah,
I
it is
think
the
that's where
beach.
the
Yeah,
fam
it's beautiful
wants to
beach.
go.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I think we've got more family. I mean, look, I originate, my father originates in Jamaica, so we
Hmm.
could go there. But the problem is, most of the rallies aren't there. They're
Right.
all in America.
Yeah, so come to America. I'll meet you
Yeah,
wherever you go. I'll meet you. I'll fly and meet you wherever you end up.
yeah.
I
Well,
will. Yeah.
I think it's on the cards.
Yeah.
Um, and I would love it. And I know that we would be the same in real life as we
100%.
are now. And I think that's the difference as well. If you look at these communities that
Hmm.
are really, embittered by hatred towards
Right.
others, can you imagine if they met up with
No.
one of their other friends? All they'd have to connect themselves with is hatred, is
Yeah.
the hatred and the bullying of other people.
And the
How sad is
past.
that?
And the past. So many people in these communities are dwelling on stuff that's happened
Mm,
I mean, I'm not saying so long like 10 years, but even 2 years ago, you know, people change, move on, you know, reevaluate, and then, you know, decide if you like a person or not. But just to keep bringing up, that would be like a friend talking to you about your ex-husband all the time.
I know.
Okay, it's like, okay, stop.
I know.
That's past. That's over. I don't need to talk about it anymore.
You need to talk to my kids. You need to talk to my kids, because every so often we've got a family WhatsApp, and every so often they put up pictures of my exes.
Rats.
And they'll be like, "Oh, I wonder how so and so's doing," and I'm like, and then they all gang up on me, Dee.
Oh,
they
rats.
all gang up on me. Oh, I wonder what he's doing now. And you know, and I'm like, I just let them do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I must admit, I am laughing.
They're having a laugh.
Like, have you finished mocking your mother for her choices? Have you finished that?
Perfect.
You know? So, God. You know, going back to the friendship thing, I think that's a really good point I made, even if I pat myself on the back.
Absolutely.
These people, can you imagine if Mr. What should we call him? We know the one, the New York tramp, right? Yeah. If he was to meet up with, say, the tragic one in real life, right? So they meet up and they go for a coffee shop. I don't even know if they'd go in a coffee shop, but anyway, they'd meet up. What would they talk about, Dee?
Other people.
Yeah. Whereas you and I, we'd be like, right, we'd be in this shop, we'd be in that shop, we'd be in the Ivy for lunch, we'd be going to the theatre,
right?
That is the difference, and that's what a real friendship is.
Yes, it's what the other what you want to make the other person happy. You have something in common, and you go do those things, even if it's sitting down at the beach watching surfers, or you're sitting in a park in a mall watching other people shop. You have something in common. It's not about how brutal you can be talking about another person.
I know.
Ridiculous.
I mean, yes, we can have our little chat about that, and you know, to be honest, I laugh about it. It doesn't upset me.
I know it doesn't affect you. You don't. I know really you don't take it seriously.
I can put the most ridiculous picture of myself online, and they'll zoom into my face.
Yes, they do.
Zoom into my mouth. They'll zoom into my whatever, and I'm like, I just think, are you all right over there?
Yeah. And they're not. No, they're just looking for a flaw. They want to make sure everyone's got a flaw that they can make bigger. You know, your age, flaw. Your skin, it's a flaw. You're not a supermodel. How dare you?
And you're fat.
How dare you show your face?
And you're fat.
And you're fat. And
I'm really fat. I mean, yeah, I could lose a few pounds, but I'm not bothered. I'd rather be this size as an older person than skinny as an older person, because then I don't look gaunt. Yeah, I've got these jowls going on. I don't particularly like them, but hey, that's me. That's how I'm aging. But
there's good sense in keeping a few pounds on when you're older. Your skin just doesn't sit the same way on your face and body the way it did when you were 30. It just doesn't. So a few extra pounds is just going to add a little, fill in the wrinkles a little bit more. Everywhere. Yeah, you know,
and the old cheekbones. I've still got my cheekbones, Dee.
Oh,
and I'm
God,
103.
I'm boneless.
Really?
Nothing in there.
I've always had these cheekbones, and I've still got them. Yeah. All right, the bottom half is sort of sagging a bit, but do you know, I don't care. I don't care. I know how gorgeous I was when I was younger.
We all had our day in the sun.
Yep, I'm happy.
Yep. Me too. Yeah, I had my day in the sun. Loved it.
If I have to dress up, like if I'm doing TV or I'm going to meet somebody in London or I'm doing something that I need to sort of not look like I'm 103, then I can do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Me too.
But the joke I mean, the joke for me, I think, and I know it does hit you sometimes, but the joke for me is that I know who I am. I don't need you to zoom on this wart on my face or anything. I know it's there.
Yeah.
You know? And when you come to terms with that, I think,
Yeah.
For me, I just laugh about it. What am I going to do? Cry? And say,
Yeah.
oh no, they put that awful picture up of me that I put up
Well,
with
for
Carsten.
me, it was humiliating. But then
I
they
know.
saw that it bothered me, so they went even more.
Yeah.
Once they found that that was a weakness of mine, they
Mm-hmm.
were going. He was going to use that more because he knew that
Yeah.
hurt every time
Yeah.
he did it, and he wanted to hurt me for some reason. Why?
Yeah.
I'm not a terrible person, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, once they find your weak spot, they're just going to keep going at it. And I'll still to this day, other boomers, I don't know what the end goal is. Do you relentlessly bully, harass, stalk, yell, berate somebody? What do you want to happen to make it stop? Do they have to die? And then will it stop? Do they have to move?
Oh,
Do they have to change their name? What
it
makes them
still wouldn't
stop?
stop. It still wouldn't stop.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Because
relentless. Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
I mean, the talks I had with you at the
Mm-hmm.
time when it was going on, and I
Yes.
know, I laugh about it myself
Yeah.
because I'm a different person to you,
Right.
but I
And you were
could
very
still
supportive. You were. You were
relate to
supportive of
you.
me. Yeah.
But what I recognized by what they were doing was that it was pure evil. It
Evil.
was pure nastiness.
Yeah.
And you're not that kind of person. So you're never going to be able to fight that kind of
No.
person
No. I can't go
because
there. I can't.
no.
No.
So it's like, okay, let them be as mean as they want to be.
Yeah.
Let them be. Let them show who they really are
Yeah.
because that's all they're doing. And yeah, it's sad that
Yeah.
there are other people like them and they do have a following of
They do.
haters.
They do.
And
They do.
I can't get my head around that. I
I
really
don't.
can't.
Yeah, I don't like anger. I don't want that to be my legacy, that I was
No,
thought of as mean and vicious and cruel. I don't want that attached to my name. So I
no.
try very hard not to do those things, even if I feel like I have to do that, I don't do it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
said pretty mean things to that person. I have.
Well, he
I've
deserved it.
I know, but
He
at
deserved
what
it. How
I
many times did I say to you, Dee?
I know. I wonder if other boomers have this problem online. Is it just us? I mean, is it
Well, I
just
think we're
us?
easy targets, aren't we? I think that's
Well,
what it is.
I think you're
We're
right there.
easy targets.
Yeah.
It's like, if you were to be, say you were to be in a public place and you annoyed somebody,
Mm-hmm.
think of the first thing they would say to you.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing they would say to me is probably something to do with the colour of my skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing would be to be about my age.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Realistically. Now,
Mm-hmm.
with you, if you were to annoy somebody outside, and I mean a stranger, okay,
Yeah.
what would the first thing they would say to you?
You mean to be cruel? Or
Yeah, to be cruel
to
to
be
you.
cruel? They say, nobody wants you.
Exactly.
You got nothing. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Yeah.
You've got one foot in the grave.
Right.
You're this, you're that. Oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You boomer. I mean,
That's
it just
it.
makes when people use boomer,
Mm-hmm.
the word boomer as an insult, it just makes me laugh. I'm like, yeah, but I like booming a lot.
That's right.
I'm quite happy booming along.
I'm having fun booming. That's right.
We've lived, honey.
Yep.
We've lived, and I
We have a
think you have to realize that these particular people
yeah.
in this particular community, not our community, this
No.
hate community,
Yeah.
they haven't got a life. They can't have a life.
I just still don't know what they're angry at. I don't know if it's just because in retaliation of their lack of a life that's fulfilling for them, And so they want to attack someone else that does have a very full life, even though
Yeah.
they're old, you know, and maybe
Yeah.
that's where the anger stems from. Jealousy, maybe. I don't know why they would be jealous, but I don't understand the basis of anger like that and cruelty. I never will.
I think a lot of I don't either.
I don't. I don't get
But
it.
I think you've only got to look at this like New Yorker. Um, look where he lives. I mean,
Yeah.
he lives in a box in the sky. I couldn't. I don't care what the view is. I don't
Yeah.
want to be looking out my window. I don't want to live that high up. Um,
Yeah. I
but
mean, a lovely
also,
view, a lovely view. I mean, not everyone's meant to live in the suburbs or, you know, in the
no,
country or something. And he does have a beautiful view, but you can't live in a view. You actually have to
no.
go into the view to have a life. The view is a picture.
What
It's,
life? I think he
yeah,
gives a glimpse into his life when he goes on his walkabout, and I think it's very telling
yeah.
because when he's walking around,
Hmm.
he's still carrying Mr. Angry on his shoulder.
I
So
know.
even if he sees a passerby, his response is always one of anger and bitterness.
Yeah, he's just
So
cutting apart people. He's like they're fat. Look how they're dressed. Look how they
I
walk. It's
know.
just why, man? Like it takes
Yeah.
so much less effort to say, "Wow, a lot of people out today," and stop
Yeah.
talking. Like,
I have done several vlogs on
mhm,
my channel.
mhm,
I've done where I've gone to Paris,
yeah,
Berlin,
yeah,
London,
mhm,
locally, when I had an art show and I took my granddaughter along. And I can honestly say I have never spoken negatively about somebody
yeah,
that's on my camera view. I
yeah.
wouldn't do that. Why would I do that?
I don't.
What does
I
that
don't.
make me?
Yeah, what does that mean if you're that mad at people you don't even know?
Yeah,
You don't know
exactly.
them. They're
It's
just
just
walking by and they probably left the house feeling like $1 million and
mm,
for how they see themselves, they think they're fabulous and they have some guy behind them, you know, cutting down what they're wearing or how big
insulting
they are
them.
or you know what they're carrying or something. It's outrageous behavior. It
I
really is.
know.
It's outrageous.
I know.
Yeah.
And he has this following of people that actually sees that
Yeah.
as humor.
They
That's
think
not humor to
it's
me.
entertainment for them. It's entertainment. I
No.
don't get it. I don't see it as entertainment. I don't.
No. I mean, I'm like you. I'm eccentric.
Hmm.
I'm
I
very
am.
eccentric.
I am. Hmm.
And so some of my vlogs, I that comes out. My histrionics comes out. I can't help it.
That's all
One of
right.
my one of my favorite things is if I'm in a lift, I have to sing. And
Hmm.
I sing very badly, but I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm always filming myself in a 5-star hotel,
Love
singing
that.
in a lift. Um, that's because I'm eccentric.
Uh huh.
Now, there is nothing that that person does
Hmm.
that shows his eccentricity because I don't think he is eccentric.
I don't
I
think he
think he's just
is.
an old, bitter old
Yeah.
man.
He's just mad. He's
I
mad at
know.
something. He's mad at something. And I
He's
just
mad
wish
at the
it wasn't
world.
me.
He's
Yeah.
mad at the world and he
Yeah.
blames everybody because he's mad at the world. When really, he's of an age now, he's not getting any younger. He
Right.
should say to himself, how can I make my life better? How can
Yeah.
I enjoy my life more? And do that.
It can happen. You can make it happen. It doesn't happen overnight, but if you make a conscious choice to be one way in this world, you know,
Yeah,
choose kindness.
exactly.
Choose, you know, if you want to entertain people, if you're an insult comic, I suppose people get a kick out of you cutting up other people's looks and jobs and marriages and everything else. But other than that, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What
There's
are you
no
doing?
compassion in that man. And I
No.
think for me, looping all the way back to friendship just before we finish, I
Okay.
think you can recognize that in other people. And It's when people show you that side and also, you know, other
Yes.
attributes that you realize that you could actually be a friend with this person. You know, this person not only gives something,
Yeah.
but can take the way you are as well. And I think that's very important in friendships. You have to realize that other people may not be exactly the same as you, but you can still have a friendship, a relationship. And I think
Friendships, yeah, friendships to me are, they love you because of who you are.
exactly.
All your flaws, all your eccentricities, all of that, in spite of you, you know, me being a goofy person sometimes, or, you know, outrageous and whatever, you know, all the wigs I wear and things like this, you know, that average people just go, what the hell is she doing? What is she
Oh,
wearing
I
now? And
love it.
I do too, and I get into that, but they love me in spite of that.
Yeah.
There's more to me than just that outside part. And I think when we've made, or me anyway, when I've made online friendships, I was looking at them that way. Like they would see me as I really am.
Yeah.
And they don't. They don't know
Mm,
me. I'm just a
no.
name. I'm just
Hmm.
a name in a chat. That's all I am.
Yeah.
That's it. So that, to me, that can't be a real deep friendship. No one goes
Yeah.
deeper than that. They don't want to really, and I don't blame them. You can't be friends with thousands of people. But
Yeah.
certainly they can be kind to you if you've been kind to everybody else.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
try and be kind to people.
I know you do.
Um, and I'm because I have that within me, but maybe because of my mental illness, I can also be a right bitch.
Okay.
But I try and hold that down. There's no need for me to really show that, exhibit that online. And I don't want to exhibit that. I don't want
Yeah.
to exhibit negativity
Mhm.
online because it's not a good trait.
It's not
I'd
healthy.
much rather
Yeah.
share my love of
Uh-huh.
creativity, my
Yes.
kindness towards people, my
Yes.
humanitarianism. You know, I'd
And
much
there's a
rather share
lot,
them.
and there's a lot of people out there exactly like that. There's so many people that I enjoy seeing their posts every day and their reaction channels. They're just lovely. And you can just tell by the way they talk and how they react that they're more than just an angry, you know, trying to make a buck type of a
Hmm.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy those people. There's a lot of them out there, but unfortunately, these other ones sneak in there trying to make their mark
Mm.
however they want to, and they kind of spoil it for a lot of people. But that's okay. We'll just push that aside.
You just have
And
to have that bat ready
yes,
so
yes,
that when those, trying to think of a good word, annoying wasp-like creatures
yeah,
come your way, you just bat them away.
yeah,
They don't impact your life.
yeah.
Don't give them that power.
I'm there, I think, or nearly there. I've
Yes.
taken a lot of importance off of. I think they're calling them parasocial people you've just met on the surface,
Hmm.
that maybe you think you know, but you really don't. It's
No,
not their picture. It's just a name. Could be a made up name. You don't know who the hell they are. They're just, you know.
exactly.
But I'm getting there. I'm getting
Yes,
there.
you are.
Yeah.
And you're also getting off now because you're going to a party on the
Yes,
beach.
I
I'm
am.
so jealous.
Yes, I am. Down at the
So
beach.
I want to say thank you to everybody who popped in to listen to us just
Yeah.
rambling. It was mainly about friendships, but
Yeah.
with Dee and I, we can talk forever because she's
Yes, we
an
can.
absolute gem. Love her to pieces.
As are
Um,
you.
so good luck. I want to say to people, if I've got any advice, if you want to listen to this old boomer, just choose your friends wisely,
Hmm.
you know, and they don't always have to be the type of person that you are, but they do need to have very similar values.
Hmm. I think that's
So,
wise. I think that's great advice. I do.
so we're going to say goodbye and we're going to see you on the next one, which hopefully will be next week. We'll try and sort
Yes,
that out.
that's right.
Have a fabulous week, everybody. And so I'm going to say goodbye.
And thanks everybody for stopping in. And we appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you the next time.
Thanks, Dee. See you soon, sweetie.
Thanks, Jan. Love you.
Love you too.